Yeah, right. So I did actually call and tried to follow up. And I just wanted to see what kind of excuse they had. And they had their fair share of excuses. Basically, that I am the father, I don't have the right to complain, and all that stuff. So the caller contacted the RCMP on the 4th of December to file a criminal complaint concerning the administration of what he described as a noxious substance that caused the death of his unborn child. That's what I called her just a little bit ago, just a few minutes ago. And the RCMP representative stated that the complaint could only be initiated by the woman who received the medication, asserting that she was the victim for reporting purposes. Okay. So the caller disputed this characterization and maintained that as a biological father, he had independent standing to file a complaint, and that is fair. The RCMP representative stated that the exact date the RCMP representative requested the exact date on which the alleged death occurred. So the caller explained that the precise date was unknown, but that the death nonetheless occurred as a result of the administration of the substance. So the caller stated that the prescribing physician, Dr. Michel Dow, failed to inform the woman that the medication would cause embryonic loss or terminate an early pregnancy, and failed to disclose its mechanism of action. The caller asserted that this omission constituted the administration of a noxious substance without informed consent. Right? So when the caller asked when I'm the caller when I asked whether the RCMP representative was a civilian employee or a sworn law enforcement officer, the representative replied, "I don't have to tell you that," and became defensive and argumentative in tone. And she said we're going in circles. Like she accused me of going in circles when she's the one that is, creating this burden, this sorry, not it's not a burden, it's a hurdle, and these impossible hurdles, right? She's creating these impossible hurdles, right? And then accuse me of going in circles, right? I'm not going in circles at all. I mean, I'm just trying to file a criminal complaint because my child died, right? Uh, and and she's, oh, I don't have to tell you that. I'm like, well, are you a law enforcement officer? Are you a civilian officer? I don't have to tell you that, she says. And then throughout the call, the caller had reiterated that the unborn child was the victim of the act, and he, as the father, had the legal right to file a complaint. The RCMP representative repeatedly insisted that they must contact the caller must contact the woman who received the medication, despite the caller stating that he had no ongoing relationship or communication with her. Now, I'm not going to contact my ex, right? Why would I do that? I'm happily married with my wonderful wife here, right? So the RCMP representative did not issue a file number and did not formally open a complaint and ultimately did not record the incident as a criminal file. Right, so very, very, so their excuses was that the woman who is successfully deceived, by the way, Dr. Michelle Dow successfully deceived the woman, and and because she's not she's the one that filed the complaint. Well, first of all, we have to convince her that this actually happened. No, I mean I'm not about to convince my ex that this happened, right? This happened to my child. This is the victim. My child is the victim, not the mother, right? The victim is the child, and explain that. And what else? She said, they're going to tell you the same thing if you call them back later. So to call me at 2 p.m., right? So that basically they talked to the sergeant. Oh, yeah. And they asked me, why didn't you file a complaint earlier? Well, I just learned about that in February 2025. Right? In February 2025, I started investigating, and then I found out that no, this was true. I also told her that the probative value is 100%. Right? There is little, there is not little doubt. There's zero doubt. There's zero that this actually happened. That this is a real thing that actually did happen. And they're trying everything that they can not to investigate because it's not like I mean, these are low level guys. I mean, I tried to get in touch with the guy. I tried to talk to him about it, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get through. But yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. They take a real crime, a real a death, right? Like a death, right? And they will try to jump around with the what do you say? Oh, well, you're the father. You can't complain. And also, I'm like, yes, I am the father. I mean, and I told him about the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Nova Scotia, saying the same thing. But if you follow their logic, it really doesn't make sense, right? So that's why I asked her, are you a law enforcement officer? Are you a civilian? And then I said, listen, I'm not going to debate with you. I'm not going to like fight you. If you're going to sit here and tell me that you're not going to open a case. I'm not going to call again and beg you to do your job, right? You're clearly, failing to administer the justice into this case, right? So I'm not interested and she said, you know what? Why didn't you call? I said, I didn't have any trust in the RCMP. The RCMP is always, not doing their job. Right. And then again today, so now, just because they got a whole bunch of money from the feds, right? And they were able to get one guy. Okay, they got ET. Okay, well, however many other people, did they get? Right? They got ET. Right? So the Project Hammer time. If you're interested in what the cops actually did, right? Finally, they did something, right? I told them. I said they're always stopping me for traffic tickets and all this stuff. I don't trust the cops. And they put me in handcuffs for some minor traffic offenses, like all the time, you know. And then she said, "Well, so why did you call now?" I said, "Well, see, you said yourself in a news release, you said um, he said, if there's any other crimes, we will actually take it seriously. But they're not, right? All they're trying to do is exactly like the College of Surgeons and Physicians and Surgeons of Nova Scotia are doing. Exactly. They're doing everything they can to not investigate, exactly like the college is doing, right? There's this death. There is this 100%. This is a death. I'm telling you what. This is like the very, at the very least, you can give me a phone number. At the very least, this is a death. I am reporting a death. At least you can give me a phone number and say that the death didn't occur, or the death, the baby didn't exist, or something like that. But just give me a file number, at least a file number. But no, they don't even give me a file number, right? That's the thing, right? So this is the second time that I'm calling about this. We'll see. But it really. It's not very. So it's not a surprise. I mean, we got to be mature about it. These people are doing exactly what the system is designed to do, right? And that is to shield the system from people that will complain, like myself. All right. Well, anyway, I'll see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Take care. Bye bye.